Good morning, family. We're going to do daily messages for the collective. So today is September 20. I don't know. It's today. Whether it's the 27th or the 28th, I'm not sure. So we're going to be doing crystalline messages for the collective. It's airplanes. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Perhaps we can. All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to start out with Sacred Spirit reading cards. Just go ahead and get a message for the collective of today. What does the collective of subscribers and new, old, and everything in between, what do we need to know about today? Okay, thank you. So we're going to look at the theme for the day from the Sacred Spirit, and we'll get clarity from the Wild Unknown. So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank my guides for letting me be a divine witness of this message for the collective today. So what does the collective need to hear? What does the collective need to know in its highest vibrational form? Ooh, timeline jump. Just heard that one come through, timeline jump. But let's go ahead and see. What crystalline messages do we need to know? Okay. So Celestial Gatekeeper, timing is critical, third-eyed vision, reclaim your mind. So right now, very much so, there is a message coming through regarding that with these timeline jumps and the things that are going on right now, is that there has been a lot of the mental body and the mental faculties that have been affected. Finding peace of mind and stability right now, taking care of the mind, the mental body, the mental faculties is really going to be a key point for today. This is to me coming through with a little bit of a dragon energy right now, which has been very much so happening, very much so happening. But right now there is a lot of the mental body that has been getting cleared, and a lot of the mind kicking up and kind of like a mental storm a little bit. This happened to me yesterday as well. So today, what can you do to be able to bring peace of mind into your life? Is there someone you need to talk to that you need to bring peace with? Right now in this time, it's kind of like a wrapping up of things. So if you feel like there's someone you need to speak with, someone you need to call, someone you need to call out to, for work with forgiveness or things like that, that's going to be really important. You can also do this etherically, right? So like if you cannot contact this person, but you want to make this peace, there's a Black Hawk. So much military activity right now. Interesting. Is that when you to be able to make this situation bringing forward into balance, right? Whatever it might be, whether it's institutional, whether it might be a judgment or a criticism on a false power or a belief, right? The attitude of forgiveness is coming through very much so right now, which is seeking peace and forgiveness while these things are coming up. So if you find that there's a distortion coming up, or you hit a certain bandwidth and this timeline wobble comes in, and you're feeling out of sorts or out of touch, right? And it's involving a person, place, situation, and ideology. Forgiveness is going to help right now, bringing peace to that situation. Love letters to the soul, love letters to the universe. If you can't directly contact this person, right, or if it's like an institutional body, one of those things that you can do is work etherically with this by just sending them forgiveness, sending them healing, writing out a letter. Poetry too, something about poetry might help. But it seems like right now, whatever you can do to declutter the mind and the mental body. Gosh, they're active right when I come here. Wonder, I'm not supposed to be here right now in this place. It's gonna help. So the mental body. Focusing on the mental body and bringing peace, especially to grief. Love letters to the universe, love letters to the soul is really going to help. Caring The qualities of nature and nurture are going to help with resparking the essence and what is clearing out from the mind. Man, there's so many military helicopters right now. Right when I came up here, it's been quiet all morning, and I just got up here to do a reading, so interesting. Okay, so what does the collective need to hear right now? I'm going to get out of the distractions, right? Come back here. Apologies. Okay. Yes, thank you. All right. So what does the collective need to hear? Crystalline messages for the day. Crystalline messages. For the collective. Taking pages out of old chapters. That's what's happening. There's pages being rewritten right now and being taken out of old chapters of our life. So as our physical body is clearing that, and we're clearing all that density from the physical body's matrix, it's going to require a lot of really nurture and love. There's a profound change happening in the collective right now. It might not be seen, heard, felt, witnessed, but there is a profound shift and a profound change that's occurring. But as a result, we have to dissolve the desires of the old to allow a new desire to come in, right? So there might be some themes or some things that have been on kind of like repeat or replay, right? And we're pushing pause on those to clear them out. So that in-between stuck patterning is a result of all of those old played out sequences, time loops that are just like for being frozen solid, so we can clear them out. And so if you feel like you're stuck or in a transition, it's just another process of clearing, right? And the more that we dive into the self-love, the self-nurture, right? And the wounding of the fallen soldier, the wounding of the mother, the wounding of the father. Yeah, Ten of Wands. It's really about coming into, this is that look for the light on the other side. This to me is like a fence saying hold up, and especially with timing is critical with Celestial Gatekeeper. You know, Ten of Wands traditionally means burdens, carrying too many burdens of the world, right? But this is very much so feeling like you're stuck, right? Call in freedom into those places you feel stuck in your own life, right? Because that right there, that doorway being closed is because there's something that hasn't fully settled within. So I am hearing things about Armageddon timelines. So let's keep focusing on clearing out the Armageddon timelines. Yeah, Mother of Cups right now. Mother of Cups. This is about that nature and nurture, but this is also too coming through as a little bit of weave your magic where you feel like you're blocked or you're backed up, right? Mother of Wands is always like a conjurer or a casting, right? So if you are weaving magic into those areas, it will help. But Mother of Cups too is very much so speaking of that motherly emotional realm. Like right now, the reason why things might feel stuck is because there's an emotional care or an emotional nurture that needs to occur to unlock the next cycle for yourself and for the collective. So this pause, this in between, it requires that mother nature nurture essence to be gifted to ourselves, right? To be gifted to ourselves. And so even if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, someone, you know, because this is a pattern I've seen and a theme I've seen with other people. Oh my gosh, someone's doing this to me. No, it's actually this stuck or this gateway. It's happening for you because it requires another level of nature and nurture in your life. Yeah, and so here's the Son of Cups, right? Coming back with that grace, that youthful grace. It has to do with the inner child. So there is some sort of nature or nurture that the inner child needs right now because the burdens of the world have been too much. So this nature and nurture and magical quality of the divine essence is coming forward for the child. Yeah, it's making sure that it's the abandoned child, and maybe feelings of abandonment will be coming up for the collective. It's a level of purification that's happening right now, but it's dissolving the veil, because if you see, there's this veil that's dropping, right? So this is deleting the illusion out of the life. So what's going to happen is this nature and nurture quality that we harness for today of care of self, right? It's going to help to shift out a whole bandwidth of things. This also, to me right now, I see this as a necklace, and this is a shirt, and this is heart chakra. Like the heart might be a little bit weepy today, right? And it's because right now that heart needs to be cared for. So if there's any mourning or loss or grief that is coming up, those aspects of you need nature and nurture right now. It's almost like there's a death and rebirth. Like I see this as a woman holding a rose at a funeral, right? So that death and that rebirth that's coming forward right now, it's there's I'm hearing apologies. Yeah, it's like right now the universe, there's this really deep motherly love that's coming through, and I'm hearing, I apologize for everything you've been through in this lifetime. I apologize for all the pain, the struggle, the heartache. I promise that things are getting better. Like there's this like divine support coming through that's almost really apologetic for the way that the world has been, and Gaia has been focusing on this. But this death and rebirth right now that's happening collectively is a rite of passage into the new universal trajectories that we are anchoring in. And so if it does feel a little bit gloomy, right, there's some deep care and deep reverence and respect that those parts of you need right now. That's why they're being called forward. No leaf lost. Yeah, here comes the Hierophant, the Hierophant, and the Four of Swords. The higher self is very much so saying rest, right? But there's a whole, this to me is recognizing the power of you. So the Hierophant is bringing a key right now. It's always a key code. It's a key code of rest and reflection because there's some sort of illumination. So this very much so, especially retrograde season, is about going within and focusing on rest and recovery. But also the Hierophant is saying that it's time for the lamb to take its new tail, right? This is to me coming forward is looking at the aspects of sacrifice and martyrdom. Yeah, because there's a new timeline opening. There's a bridge opening up where this is to me coming through. The Hierophant in this deck will come through as a clarion call, right? A messenger saying, hey now, drop the sacrifice and martyrdom, right? Drop the sacrificial lamb, because this self-imposed routine doesn't need to occur anymore because there's some new timelines that are opening. There's a new passageway. There's a merging of magics that's occurring. So Two of Wands typically means in between, choice point, right? But this is coming through as like almost like a little bit of a rainbow gathering, right? Like a rainbow road that's opening up. And as a result, everything that you're clearing right now is because your higher self is orchestrating you to let go of these things because of the timelines that are opening. There's a pathway that's opening, and it requires this rainbow mountain that we're all climbing collectively. It requires us to let go of the sacrificial lamb. It's very much so like it's almost like coming through as a fifth dimensional distortion that we're clearing so we can get up into that sixth dimensional and higher consciousness. Yep, Three of Wands. So we've got Two of Wands, Three of Wands, which means that there is a progression, there is a leveling up. So it is this rest, this nurture is because it's providing a form of ascension, because there is a gateway unlocking from within. This is the secrets from within the womb or the heart. So I want to say heart now, because this sometimes comes through as womb. But right now, it very much so is with the level of the heart, since we were speaking of the heart chakra in the mourning and the grief, that there's some sort of heart light that's unlocking. And that's how this rainbow road is actually walked on, is because you hold this rainbow heart from within. So that's very much so a clearing out of that. This portal is opening, especially with the celestial gatekeeper. This portal is opening up for us to be able to ride through. But it requires us to let go of this. This is almost like there's a doorway. Once again, coming back to that this is the doorway, the closed door. The doorway will open because the Hierophant is sending out the signal right now. The messenger of the crow is coming through with this power to say, okay, it's time to release the sacrificial lamb, the martyrdom, because these roads that are opening up, we need to get you through this passageway and gateway. Right? So collectively, as this opens up, more is going to be revealed. This to me is coming through very much so about shutting off the television too. So for some of you, this might be just for a few of you, shut off the television screen, because there's something that wants to be illuminated beyond the screen. Like, this to me is very much so a visual representation of a screen, the black and white screen, kind of like the static of TV. There's something that wants to be found within, and this is almost like a piercing of the veil, a glimpse into a future pathway, a glimpse into a future timeline that's going to help you out, right? So this opening is requiring us to make sure that we are being mindful of, false evidence appearing real, but it's also too about there's something in, especially with the wands here with the sticks, it's like Gaia is providing some form of reality that TV cannot provide, or a screen in general. So it might be a day to step off of technology today too, especially with the way that I'm seeing the Two of Wands as well, with this like kind of like rainbow television set. Those horizontal lines to me always kind of represent sometimes TV screens and illusion, right? And so that illusion, it's a time to step away from that, because there's some sort of deprogramming that's happening at a cellular level and happening with our DNA, and we don't want to keep reintroducing old programs. So this is being conscious of what you're ingesting, being conscious of, becoming conscious of those things. There is a lot of rain energy in this too, which is interesting because we're dealing with this in Sedona. So there is like a level of water and purification happening. Yeah, see, Nine of Cups. This is going to be the last card. This is because there's some sort of level of, this is coming through as emotional maturity that's coming through. Emotional maturity. Sometimes though too, because it has a kind of a dual meaning. First off, emotional maturity, but also too, this can speak of light ships. This can sometimes speak of light ships to me, and like guardians and guides. Cups that surround you. It's like you're very much so guided and supported by your teams right now. And they're helping you to retrieve and to receive these cups of abundance. So this isn't self-imposed. It's a gift for you to, and I'm hearing for the masculines to grow up and grow out of these phases. Grow up and out of these phases. Yep, there it is, the Fool. The Fool, because there's a new beginning opening up for us, for the collective. So really, at the end of the day, this is coming into a level of emotional mastery because of what the Fool is calling forward. Because see, the Fool is about to make a jump. It's got one leg off. It's about to take flight. Like there's a little bit of a hesitancy. And so because of this jumping off point in the collective, it's requiring us to clear this out, because there's some sort of emotional maturity for what we're walking forward into. It's because there's a new dawn rising, and 0 is very much so speaking of 0 point, right? So fresh slate, new beginning. But we are ready to take flight. The flight is about to occur. We just have to get through a little bit of this grieving, and we have to get through these blocks that have been getting in the way. Okay. So today, very much so, take time out to rest, care for the heart. If you feel called to do forgiveness work, do forgiveness work. It will help. Ho'oponopono is really good work to do for this as well. And so, yeah, there's some sort of emotional mastery that's coming into the realms for all of us today, and I'm really excited to see what's going on. But this does feel like a passageway, especially with Celestial Gatekeeper. Timing is critical. It's very much so coming through with that this is like a passageway or a corridor for you to reclaim your mental body and your mental faculties, and to maintain balance through the quality and essence of the nurture. All right. So I love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you so much for everything. And with that, we're done for the day. And I'll see you guys in another moment of the now. Namaste.